Hello, everyone, and welcome to Three Things That Are Keeping You Fat, Sick, and Tired. I'm your host, Julianne Wutke, health coach and vibrant aging expert. So, why are we here together today on this webinar? Who is it for? Well, it could be for you if you've struggled with your weight. Maybe sometimes you can drop some weight, but then you don't manage to keep it off. You've got FLC, otherwise known as feel like crap. So you really just don't feel well most of the time. Maybe you've got low energy, so you might get tired easily. Maybe you rely on caffeine or sweets to pick you up. You could be on that energy and mood roller coaster all day long. You've probably experienced that. Caffeine picks you up, then you drop down, then you need caffeine and something sweet, and then it just goes on all day long. So if that sounds like you, as a matter of fact, if any of these things are true for you, then you're in the right place. In this webinar, we're going to cover how to drop excess weight and keep it off, how you can feel and look good right away, and how to get your energy back and have more sustained energy throughout the day. So here's a quick question. What do you think is more important? What we eat or how we eat? Not a trick question. Not really. Oh, I know. I got this wrong for years. So we'll get back to that in a minute. For those of you who don't know me, I have struggled and just tried to manage my weight for most of my life. I was a chubby kid, and I couldn't help but notice that most of the other kids my age were not chubby. As a matter of fact, they were annoyingly slim, and they didn't even seem to think about food very much. Sometimes they didn't even finish their school lunches. That was annoying. I mean, they would just not touch their cookies. I couldn't even imagine such a thing. Well, I was left to wonder at it all. Were some people just sort of naturally slim? I just didn't get it. It wasn't until my 50s that things really started to click. And by click, I mean that I was at that point of feeling fat, tired, and like I was just getting old before my time. I had to get some help. I had to get the right information and finally figure out how to make healthy changes that would last. So let's get into it. Here's the first thing that is probably making you fat, sick, and tired. It is what you eat. Now, notice I didn't say anything about counting calories, about tracking your macros, or even going on some kind of diet. And I hope you don't like that word. I hope you're not in love with the idea, because I didn't even like saying that word. I used to think that all those things about the calories and the macros and the tracking and all that, I used to think all of those are very important. And then I had one of those aha moments. It first happened several years ago. I came across a book by a very well known and respected functional medicine doctor. Some of you may know this book. The title is Eat Fat, Get Thin. Well, just that title alone blew me away. That idea of eating fat, getting thin, that was just so outside of anything I had ever thought I had known about food. I just didn't even believe it. I had to know more. So I read the book. I learned a lot more about that. And I realized that a lot of what I thought about food and what made people fat was just wrong. Uh, just along the lines of this theme of adding, maybe there's some healthy fats and we can add them into our meals. I have many clients who get sugar cravings. They found that swapping those sweet snacks that they might have relied on before for maybe foods that contain a healthy fat can really take care of those cravings. And I know this not just from my clients, but it was true for me as well. So, ever get food cravings and you just try to use your willpower to tough it out? Well, first, let me say this: unless you have some kind of superhuman powers, using willpower like that every day is just exhausting. And it's likely not going to work. Wouldn't it be great if you just didn't have those cravings for sugar or for junk food? That you were just someone who was able to make the smart food choices or the better food choices. And it just kind of felt normal and effortless. This is very doable. All right. The next thing that is probably keeping you fat, sick, and tired is how you eat. Yeah, you heard that correctly. So, how we eat, what does that even mean? Here's an example. Many of my clients, and I used to do this too, so I know how it goes. But let's say we're having one of those busy, hectic days, and you just feel like you need to be as efficient with everything as possible. This often includes eating at our desks, eating while driving, and eating as quickly as possible. Well, here's what we know. When we eat too fast, especially when we're in that kind of a low stress state, like we're sitting at our desks working, it makes it hard, almost impossible, to properly digest our food. And that food energy that we're taking in is much more likely to be stored as fat. So, do you sometimes get indigestion or have digestive issues? Do you feel like you're accumulating extra fat around your middle, otherwise known as belly fat? One of the things I help people with is learning what sort of habits actually cause those things and what they can do instead. All right, the next thing that is probably keeping you fat, sick, and tired is confusion. I am not kidding about this. How many of us are confused about food? What is a healthy food? What about exercise? Do I need it? What should I do? How much do I need? Is there anything I can do to look younger or to get rid of wrinkles? It can be very confusing. And I will say this: if you're confused about any of those things, it is not your fault. We're bombarded with constant marketing messages all day long. And if we don't know better, we really have no idea how to tell what's true and what's not true. So I have multiple clients who tell me about, this special protein drink that they found. It's a healthy protein drink. It says so on the label. Or maybe it's a healthy all natural snack, and again they know it's healthy and all natural because it says so on the label. And then they're very surprised when it turns out that maybe 3 or 4 ingredients on that list of ingredients of the label are just different names for sugar, or worse. That's okay. Again, it's not your fault. Most food marketing is intentionally misleading. I don't think that's a surprise to most of us. Okay, so none of us, I know I don't, none of us want to play detective or become a chemist to try to figure out what ingredients not to eat. Wouldn't it be great if we could just get some simple and straightforward information that's easy to understand and remember, that we could use to guide us as we just go about in our daily lives? What if you could just plan your dinner or look at a restaurant menu and you already know as much as you need to know to make the best choices? So these are the things I help my clients to do. All right. At this point, we're going to see if there's any questions coming up in the chat. And if I miss you, that's okay. We'll come back. We'll have a little Q&A towards the end. Okay. So far, we've covered 3 of the big things that are probably keeping us fat, sick, and tired: what we're eating, how we are eating, and confusion about all of it. Now, you may already have heard some very useful information so far, and I hope you have. We've really just only scratched the surface, though. If you want to know more, if you want to hear details about going deeper into this and solving issues that are most important to you, then stay on the call and I will tell you more about that. This is the month of September. It's one of my favorite months. Such a great time of year. We're usually done with all that hectic summer activity, and we have a few weeks of warm weather and sunshine before autumn really begins. This is a great time of year to reset, recharge, and simplify our daily routine. So, September Reset and Glow is coming up. It is 5 days of juicy information, and it runs from September 19th to the 23rd, just 5 days. There's lots of great information that will help you reset some of those things that you do every day and show you what you can do instead. And the best part, you're going to learn about what to eat, how to eat, and about sleep, relaxation, movement, all kinds of different areas in your life where even a few small changes will make a huge difference over time. You'll get a daily video and email on what we're covering that day, plus some easy things you can do right away that will make a difference. So, really, the September Reset and Glow is a very easy and practical way to invest in yourself and your future. And because you are hearing this information early, not only are you eligible for early bird pricing, but I have a few bonuses for you as well. So, the September Reset and Glow is 5 days of useful, actionable information you can begin using right away. It includes daily emails, video, and a special try this suggestion for every day. And a bonus, we have 3 additional videos and what I call white sheets, or curated, simple, understandable information on topics that you want to know most about. So early bird pricing for the September Reset and Glow is only $117. And this is good through midnight on Friday, September the 16th. That's the Friday before we get started on the 19th. All right. It's good that we're doing this now, really, because, well, you've already seen it. The Halloween candy is in the stores. This is only, what, September 7th? And we've already got the Halloween candy in the stores. Before you know it, we're going to get caught up in that fast frenzy of the holidays that just seem to kind of take over most of October, and we slide right through to January 1st. All right. So if this sounds good to you, this September Reset and Glow, and you're ready to do something different, and you feel like, hey, Julianne, I'm ready. Let's just do it. I'm actually encouraging you to join us for 5 days of adventures and looking and feeling better right away. If that's you, go ahead and click on the link in the chat and be a part of that. All right. The link is in the chat. All right. And it will also be with this recording. So, by the way, for those of you who make that decision now and not later, and you join us from this webinar, I have a little bonus surprise for you. And you'll see that when you get your welcome email. If you're someone who needs to wait and think about it and still need to know more, that's great too. There'll be an information and registration page with a few more details about September Reset and Glow, some comments from some of my clients who worked with me, and a few more things about the juicy information and all the extras that you're going to get. And again, that page will go live a little later on today, and I'll be sure and send everyone here a link to that. Again, it's okay if you're a right now kind of person, just click on that link in the chat and you'll get that special bonus from me. And if you feel like you need to wait to join, that's okay too. The link to the information page will be in your inbox later today. So I promised a little Q&A for a few minutes. So for any of you who are here live, if you'd like to type any questions into the chat, you can do that right now. But until I see some questions, I wanted to bring up a question that was asked a little bit earlier. And that question was, is this a diet? No. I mean, really, again, the reason I don't even like that word, because to me, it just implies this thing that you're doing that you wouldn't normally do for a certain period of time. And then you're going to get the results that you were after, hopefully. And then you're going to stop doing that. So it's almost kind of like an artificial, sort of a setup, like you wouldn't normally do those things. And I don't know about you, but I don't, do you love weighing things, measuring things, tracking things? Do you love buying special products? I know I don't. So that's why that's not, we're just learning how to do things differently during the September Reset and Glow. During the 5 days, we're going to learn some of the basics about food, everyday things that you don't, so you don't have to live like some kind of a robot or feel deprived. You can just start making better choices every day, and it will eventually just be part of who you are. Okay, well, I think that that's it for today. I look forward to seeing everyone over on the registration page later on today when it goes live. And any questions at all, please feel free to connect with me via email or on social. Most of you know how to do that. Until then, this has been Julianne, your health coach, and I will talk to you soon.